everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Noob Readers. My name is Kiran and in this video, I'm gonna be talking about the Whisky Peak Arc, which basically is the 8th arc in the One Piece manga series and of course the 2nd arc in the Alabasta saga. Now this arc starts off from chapter 106 in volume 12 and ends at chapter 114 in volume 13. Now this was my least favorite arc so far and I have rated it as 3.5 stars out of 5. So yeah, I just have a lot of mixed feelings about this arc. So without further ado, let's begin the review. So the arc starts off where all of our crew members with Mr. Nine and Miss Vince, they are going towards the Whisky Peak Island and we see some crazy things happening because the weather is extremely bad because all the seasons are like happening at the same time. Like in one instance it's sunny and the other it starts snowing and then we have spring. So yeah, and the air currents and water currents, you know, are like crazy on the Grand Line. So yeah, it's a very difficult situation and all of our crew members are just freaking out and they have to like constantly do a lot of work, apart from Zoro actually, because Zoro is just sleeping the entire time. It's like a parallel with the fact that afterwards Zoro is the one who's gonna be fighting and all the other characters are gonna be sleeping. So yeah, that was like great. So they visit this particular island and then you see all of these people just being extremely happy to look at them and I'm like,
okay.
Yeah, so basically they were like hyping them up and they're like, oh my god, you came to the Grand Line and you're amazing pirates. And then we meet this mayor of this particular place who's called Igaram, and Nami asked him that how much time will it take for their log post to kind of like record the magnetic fields for them to move forward. But Igaram is just like, just don't worry about it, just chill. And then we see how different our characters are. Like Zoro and Nami are the ones who are like kind of a bit suspicious, and then you see Luffy, Sanji and Usopp, all three of them being extremely happy that oh my god, we're gonna have a party at this particular island because these people just want to throw us a party. Both Zoro and Nami were just drinking. Yeah, that was funny. And then we see Sanji, who's literally just flirting with like 20 women at the same time. So I'm like, yeah, Sanji is just having a great time. And then you see Luffy, who is literally eating, and he must have eaten for like around like 20 people, I guess that's what it was stated. So yeah, and then everyone's just having a great time and then each and every one of them kind of like sleeps. So afterwards we get this great reveal that all of these people are actually part of this organization that's called the Baroque Works and they all are like bounty hunters. Yeah, Luffy has a bounty on his head, so they're gonna take advantage of that. And they're just having this entire conversation and then we see Zoro right there at the top of the building saying that why don't you just let my friends sleep. I really love this moment because you just see the visual representation of the fact that how Zoro is just so strong in comparison to all of these people. So they're like 100 bounty hunters, but nobody can even come close to him, and then we get the fight. And I do have to say that in this particular arc, this was literally the hype moment, or you can say the best moment. In this entire fight, he's just saying that, yeah, I'm just gonna test my sword. So my favorite moment is when Zoro creates a circle with his swords and they all kind of like fell down over there. And yeah, it was just so funny. And then there was this one moment where he's just going up the ladder and then he just throws the ladder away. So yeah, it's just so funny. That entire fight is just so damn funny. So there's this one character named Miss Monday and she's the one who has a lot of muscles. So I thought that yeah, maybe she'll be able to give some sort of, you know, competition to Zoro. But of course, she also ends up getting, you know, defeated and she can also not do anything. So yeah, and then there is the entry of two new characters. Now these two characters are Mr. Five and Miss Valentine. Now they come and then they explain that we are here not to help you guys out but to actually capture two people. Now the one is Miss Wednesday, who's actually the Princess Vivi of Alabasta, and of course the other person is Mr. 8, who's basically Igrapoi, who's actually Igaram, who's basically the royal guard of the kingdom of Alabasta. So these two people have like infiltrated their organization, and the leader of this organization, who's called Mr. Zero, has sent both of these people to just kill these people. Now I have a lot of questions. Okay, they have like a picture. Okay, they show a picture of Princess Vivi, and when you look at Miss Wednesday, there's just no difference. It's just that Miss Wednesday just ties her hair in a ponytail. So are you just really telling me that they had no idea that she was a princess because her hair was in a ponytail? And when I was reading it, I'm like, that's such a Bollywood logic. Like how can you just not know that? I mean, just imagine you basically as an organization want to take over this particular place that is called the Alabasta, right? And your organization's leader actually wants to create like the best world of that particular place, and you're telling me that he would not know about the princess? That makes no sense to me. And there was this really interesting thing also, that is they have a letterbox with the name of the organization, that is Baroque. Yeah, it's written over there. So I'm like, how's that gonna work? Like whoever is gonna come to this particular place is gonna know, right? If you'll have a letterbox with the name of the organization there. So yeah, it was really weird for me. Okay, so Igaram is just like, I just have to protect Vivi. Tries to approach Zoro and tells him that, why don't you just help us out? Please take her to Alabasta so that we can protect her life. And then we see Nami. So Nami enters and Nami says, you know what, if you can give me 1 billion berries, I'm gonna protect your princess and we're gonna take her to the Alabasta safely. And I really like how Zoro's just like, no, I don't want to be a part of your money making schemes and I don't want to be a part of this. Now this is the interesting thing. Nami says that you have to go and fight even if I'm the one who has, done this contract. This contract would include all of the crew members. The way that she's like, Zoro, don't forget that I lent you money and I lent you money on interest. So as you have not given me the interest, so if you'll help me out, then I'll forget about the interest. And you can just see the frustration on Zoro's face, and this is the same frustration that I'm also feeling. I just hated what Nami was doing over here. Like, yeah, I mean, I just hated it so much. I'm like, what is wrong with her? According to me, personally, I don't think he owes her any money, and the fact that she's just pressurizing him to fight and she's not even going to fight, I think it's just damaging Nami's character. She just wants to take all the money for herself and she's not even going to work for it. But of course Zoro had no choice, so he had to go and fight Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine. And then we see Luffy waking up. Luffy gets angry and he gets really, really angry. I know that Luffy is just supposed to be dumb. Like, I know that. Here, he was not even letting Zoro explain why he did what he did. And I was like,
dude, why?
Yeah, and the reason for it is just so dumb. It's just such a dumb reason that they start fighting. This entire Zoro versus Luffy thing, it literally came out of nowhere. It makes no sense. He doesn't even like trust Zoro now, and he just thinks that, yeah, Zoro just probably got mad because he didn't get food. And it's just so annoying to read. Like, if you told me that Zoro and Sanji decided to fight, or like Zoro and Nami decided to fight, or even Luffy and Usopp decided to fight, I think it would make so much more sense. But Zoro and Luffy?
No. Just no.
And in their fight, Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine, they get destroyed in this fight because, yeah, because they're like, yeah, just don't come. Just don't come in between because we are fighting. And then how their fight ends, Nami comes and she just punches both of them and she separates them. So this is how their fight ends. So Vivi is just like, you know what, I'm not gonna tell you who the leader is because then you'll be on the radar of this organization that is Baroque Works. She accidentally reveals the name. So basically this person is Mr. Crocodile, and he is one of the 7 warlords of the sea. And I'm like, okay, another person who's one of the warlords, and you know how much I love Mihawk, right? So I'm really excited to meet this guy. So now their life is in danger because the people from Baroque works are gonna come after them. Now you see that so many people are after our crew. So the Navy headquarters are after them, and of course Tashigi and Smoker are after them. Then we know that Buggy and Elvida are after them, and now this organization Baroque Works is also after them. So I'm like, yeah, of course, our crew is just getting extremely famous, right? Because each and every one is gonna be their enemy. This is what happens, and then we see that Igaram comes, and who dresses up as Vivi and says that, you know what, I'm gonna be the decoy so that you all can leave this island. So he goes, and then his ship is destroyed, and then we know that yeah, he's probably dead. I think that he's dead, but maybe he can come back, I don't know. But yeah, for the time being, I'm gonna assume that he's dead. And then we see this character who's like, okay, a decoy. So she's the one who has actually destroyed the ship. So they all kind of like go and start their journey towards the next island, which is basically the Little Garden. Now, this is the point where we meet the same character who has basically destroyed the ship of Igaram, and she's just sitting there chilling. So Miss All Sunday basically gives Vivi the log pose, that is basically the eternal pose, and she says that this is basically going to point at this one island that is very near to Alabasta, so you can reach the island quickly. And then everyone's just like, but why are you helping us out? So I'm like, okay, what's going on? Like, whose side is she on? Like, why is she helping the princess? I'm like, yeah, what's going on? So yeah, I was just figuring all of this out when Luffy just smashes the eternal pose, and I'm like, well, you did it. It's just so funny to me, but I really like how Luffy is just like, you're not going to decide where we are gonna go next, because I'm the captain, I'm gonna decide. And I think that was really cool, because we had like no way to know whether she was helping out or was she just trying to distract them. So I really like how Luffy is just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm not gonna listen to you because I don't like you, because you're the one who has killed Igaram. So yeah, that was cool. I have no idea about her powers, but they look very cool. So I'm really looking forward to know more about this character. I just hope that we see her in future, because yeah, she sounds interesting. And so that's it. She leaves, and then our crew starts their journey towards this island. So it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen in the next arc. But yeah, that's where the arc ends. I think this arc had this entire thing with Nami's actions, which I just did not like. I think, yeah, they kind of like made her look bad in my eyes. So I just hope that Oda will do something in the future so that I can just start liking Nami more, because right now I'm just not liking her. I do have to say, this whole Luffy versus Zoro thing just made no sense, and I was just like, yeah, this just literally came out of nowhere, made no sense. I did not appreciate it. Yeah, not a big fan. Vivi being a princess, and just because her hair was in ponytail, nobody knew that she was a princess. Yeah, what kind of logic is that? Yeah, that was weird. Did not like that. What I really loved about this arc was the entire Zoro versus the 100 bounty hunters fight. I think it was done so well. It was so funny. And the entire detail of how this Whiskey Peak was in the shape of the cactus because of all the people that they have killed. And that was basically the tombstone. I think this one detail was just really cool. Loved it. And I really liked Miss All Sunday's character. I think she's very mysterious, and I'm really looking forward to know more about her, because I think she can be a good villain because of her unclear motives. So I'm like, yeah, like what's going on with her character? So that's it. These are my thoughts about this arc. What do you guys think about this arc? Just let me know that in the comments down below. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, take care, and Happy New Year.